ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we are going to discuss from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 11. So this is the most interesting section. For the first time in the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was in doubt, and apparently Arjuna is asking questions to Lord Krishna for the answers. So now from the 11th verse, the Lord is going to speak, and systematically Lord Krishna is going to clarify each and every doubt of Arjuna, what Arjuna has put so many questions. So let's try to understand what all questions Arjuna has asked to Lord Krishna, and how Lord Krishna is systematically clarifying all the doubts of Arjuna. So it's one of the biggest section of the second chapter, from the verse 11 to verse 30. 2.11 to 2.30. In this section, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna about the knowledge of soul, what this soul is, and the soul is made of what are the qualities of the soul. All these things in detail Lord Krishna is going to speak in this in this section. So let's try to understand this section, and it will be very interesting. And this is like the foundational knowledge for spirituality. In spirituality, whether somebody does karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga, whatever the yoga, the knowledge of the soul is the basic. It's like the foundational block. Just like if a software engineer, and he has to do the programming, and there are so many language. No matter whatever language you do the coding, but the basic language is the programming C. C, that is the basic concept of the coding, is get clarified in that language. And after knowing that language, people understand. So people try to know so many various language, and therefore go for the coding. Or there is a basic concept of spirituality, and that basic concept is the knowledge of soul. So let's try to understand what Lord Krishna is telling in the second chapter, verse number 11. 2.11. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha असोच्यान अन्वसोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादश्च भाससे गतासुन अगतासुंश्च नानुशोचित pandita. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, asocyan anvasochastvam. Asocyan means Sochyan means it's a very miserable thing. Somebody is sochana. Asocyan means a object what not needed to be think on that object. सोचने का जरूरत नहीं. असोच्यान. Asocyan anvasochastvam. Tvam, my dear Arjuna, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Tvam anvasochas means you are lamenting. Anvasocha, sochas means you are lamenting for an object. That object is not worth to lament. Suppose imagine if something is stolen from your house, it's very costly item, then somebody may lament. But if it's a very cheap item and it doesn't have any value, somebody steals, then no need of lamenting. If you are lamenting, then you may say that why you are lamenting? It's a very simple things, right? You can get it by any way. So what is the point in lamenting on this object? To some extent, Krishna is telling to Arjuna like that asocyan anvasochastu. Tvam, my dear Arjuna, you are lamenting on such an object which is asocyan, which is not worth of lamenting. So what is that, the object what is not worth of lamenting? The Acharya says that sons of the Dhritarashtra. These sons of the Dhritarashtra, they have tortured you so much, and they tried to kill you in so many different way. And this is the opportunity you are getting to kill them, to take the revenge. And now you are lamenting that I should not kill these brothers. What's happening with you? What's the problem with you? So that's what here Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, that the sons of the Dhritarashtra, they are so dangerous. They tried so many various ways to kill the Pandavas, to disrobe Draupadi, to feed poison to Bhima, to kill all the Pandavas in the Lakshagra, in so many different ways. And right now, this is the point where you can take the revenge and kill all these sons of the Dhritarashtra who are in the path of adharma. But at this point, Arjuna is lamenting. It is not a worth to lament on this condition. That's what the Krishna is telling. Pragyavadamcha bhasase. Pragyavadamcha bhasase means pragyavadamcha bhasase. Bhasase means speaking. You are speaking. Pragyavadas means you are speaking like an wisdom. The words coming out from your mouth are filled with the wisdom. You are thinking that you are speaking such an wisdom, but actually it's not wisdom. The thing what you are lamenting, that is not supposed to be lament on those things. And you are thinking that you are talking from the Dharma Shastra and it's very wisdom, and like that you are thinking. So that is not correct, Krishna is telling. And then in the third line, Krishna is giving three things, very important things. Gatasun, Agatasun, Cha. So Krishna is telling, actually, Gatasun means Gati. The thing which is keep on moving always, Gati, that is called Gatasun. So Krishna is telling that actually this gross body is always changing. At every moment, the gross body is changing. So why are you thinking so much about this gross body? The gross body is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And at every moment, even the scientists, they are saying that at every second, the chemicals composition of this gross body that keep on changing. So this gross body is always changing. That means always it is dying. So why are you attached to this gross body? Gata soon. It is changing always. And then he's telling agatasum. Agatasum means what? Agatasum. That thing which doesn't change always. Agatasun. What is that thing? That is the soul. The soul soul no. Agatasun means subtle body. Like we know that inside the gross body, there is another body that is called the subtle body. And inside the subtle body, there is a Atma. So the subtle body also doesn't change always. It only destroyed when the soul frees from the birth and death cycle and it goes to the spiritual world. That time the subtle body is destroyed. That means when the soul gets the mukti or liberation. Otherwise, when a person dies, according to his karma, according to his thought process, whatever impressions he has in his mind, subtle mind, that mind, subtle body is made of three things: mind, intelligence, and ego. So this subtle body made of mind, intelligence, and ego, it acts as a carrier to carry the soul from one body to another body. And it takes the soul to another body, and in that new body, the soul begins his new journey. And the mind, intelligence, ego is the same thing. Whatever impressions he has from his previous life, it carries and it brings to the new life, new body. So, agatasum. So even though these persons are going to die, the subtle body is not going to die. The subtle body will be there always. And when the subtle body will die, the subtle body will die at the time of death, at the time of the liberation. At last, when the soul is getting liberation, that time the subtle body die. And at that time, no need to again get pain. Why? Because the soul is going back to Godhead. You're going to the spiritual world. So when the soul is going to spiritual world, that time the subtle body will going to die. And that time, because the soul is going back home, back to Godhead, it's a very happy moment. So even though the subtle body dies, you are not the subtle body, right? So no need to worry about the subtle body. And then Lord tells, Gatasun, Agatasum, Cha. Cha means what? Cha means apart from these two body, and there is another body. So what is that body? That is the soul, Atma. Apart from gross body and the subtle body, the third body is called the soul. And the soul never dies. It remains always. Here Krishna is telling. So what is the reason of lamentation then? If your gross body changing at every moment, eh, and death is just another change, no need of lamentation. And if the subtle body is not going to die, it will only die at the liberation, then why to lament at the death? And the soul is not going to die. So then Lord is telling, then why are you lamenting? For what you are lamenting here? And then Lord is telling, Nanu sochanti pandita. But the pandita, the wise man, he never laments like this. So just imagine, Lord is giving commenting on Arjuna. Pragya badavcha bhasase. You are thinking that you are talking very intelligently and very wisdom words you are talking. But nanu sochati pandita. But you are lamenting. You are crying like a eunuch, and you are telling that I will not fight. So it is not matching what you are telling. You are telling that you are telling very properly, very intelligently, but what you are telling that not matching with your caliber. So then Baladev Vidyabhushan, one of the famous Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya, he writes Tika on this sloka, and he tells that there are three varieties of shastras. There are three levels of the shastra. The beginning level is the Artha Shastra, then Dharma Shastra, then Jnana Shastra. So Artha Shastra says that Atatai should be killed. Atatai means what? If a person is attacking on your home, or if a person is attacking on your wife, or killing some of your relatives, so then he is Atatai, he is aggression. So that person can be killed at any cost, right? Atatai. But above the Artha Shastra, on top of it is Dharma Shastra. So this is the basic rule. According to Artha Shastra, if somebody has usurped your kingdom or tried to attack you, kill you, then you can kill, according to Artha Shastra. But Arjuna is now focusing on the Shastra top of Artha Shastra, and that is the Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra says that although he is Atatai, but if he is a relative, if he is a blood relative, then better not kill him. Forgive him. That's what the Dharma Shastra is talking about. So here, Arjuna is focusing on the Dharma Shastra, and he's telling that based on the Dharma Shastra, I am telling you that these sons of the Dhritarashtra, they should not be killed. So this is the main point of Arjuna here. But Krishna is telling that I am talking above Dharma Shastra. So there is Artha Shastra, then there is a Dharma Shastra. On top of Dharma Shastra is Jnana Shastra. On the base of the Jnana Shastra, I am talking that we are not the body, but we are the soul inside the body. And the soul never dies. The soul is always eternal and it is always permanent. So that is the main concept what the Lord is speaking here, that we are not this body, but we are the soul inside the body. And the soul never dies. That's what the main message Krishna is giving in this verse 2.11. Now we'll switch to verse 2.12. 12th verse we will switch now. We'll read the 12th verse. Natu evaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam atha param. So here now Lord Krishna is very interestingly is telling, generally it's like Krishna is telling to Arjuna, okay, if somebody is there in this material world, So what is the really object of affection? The soul or the body? You have a relative and whom you love much, and that actually whom you are loving the body or the soul inside the body. Krishna is asking to Arjuna. So Arjuna is thinking, obviously not the body, because the body is changing everywhere. So definitely it's the soul inside the body whom I love. Then the Lord is telling, if you are loving to the soul inside the body, then why you are lamenting? Because at the time of death, the body is going to destroy, the soul is going to remain like that only. A soul is not changing. So when the soul is not changing and it is not dying, so why to lament? So that is the point of Krishna. And to this, Krishna is quoting this verse just to substantiate his point, 2.12. न तु एवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयम अथा परम. So Krishna is telling, oh my dear Arjuna, na tu evaham jatu nasam. There is no point when we were not existed. Na tu evaham jatu nasam. There was not a single point when you were not there and I am not there. At every moment in this world, I was existing and you were also existing, always. Okay? Na tvam, nor you. Na tu evaham jatu aham. First, Krishna is telling about himself that there was no point when I was not existing. Na tvam, nor even you. You were also existing all the time. Neme Janadipa, Neme Janadipa. Janadipa means all these kings who are standing in front of us. All these kings, they were also existing in the past. So Krishna is telling about the past, that in the past, all these kings, I and you, all were existing in the past. And then Krishna is going to speak about the future. Na cha eva na bhavishyami, nor in the bhavishya, nor in the future, sarve vayam atha param, nor in the future will we ever not exist. Krishna is telling, we were existing always in the past, and right now we are there in the present. I am speaking to you, Arjuna, and sarve vayam atha param bhavishyami, and in the future also we are going to exist. So what does it mean? The meaning is simple, very clear, that the body is changing at every moment, but the soul inside the body, that is not changing. The soul inside the body is permanent. It is eternal. At every moment, the soul is going to be there. So Lord Krishna is telling, you are bothering, you are thinking a lot about all these kingsmen relatives that they will be die. But my dear Arjuna, they were there in the past and they are right now standing in front of you. And the future also, their body will be destroyed. Gatasun, agatasam cha. But they will be not destroyed. They will be always there in the future also. So that is the main point Lord is explaining here. So nice, Lord is explaining with logic and reasoning that how all these Jivatma will be eternal and they are going to exist forever. And then in the verse 2.13, Lord tells the next verse. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namo yate. So now Krishna is telling to Arjuna, oh my dear Arjuna, you are lamenting for this body. Actually, you seeing a body outside, but inside this body there is another person. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. Dehe, this is the body. Dehino means inside the body. So inside the body there is another body who is residing. And who is that? He is the soul. Dehinospin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara. Kaumaram is till the age of 5, the childhood age, when the children they play. Kaumaram Yovanam, and then the youth come. They go to school, college, and they do romance, all these things. That is the youthful. Kaumaram, Yovanam, and the youth is not going to stay for always. Then Jara will come, the old age will come. Kaumaram, Yovanam, Jara. So once a lady, old lady, and sometimes it happens now when people become old, they become hunchback and they bend down. So the lady was walking, bent down lady, and a young boy was passing by the road, and he saw the lady was walking, and she was a hunchback lady. And then this young boy, he commented on the lady, because when the old men, they walk with forward bend structure, it looks like they are searching something on the road. So this boy commented on the lady that, "Oh, my dear madam, what you are searching on the road?" So this old lady is also quite intelligent and very smart. So this lady replied that, "Oh, my dear boy, on the youth, on which you have so much of uh, respect and so much of prestige, and you have so much of you are thinking a lot about your youth. And that youth, once upon a time, I had also that youth. But with the time, that youth has lost. And I am searching that youth in the road where I have lost that youth." And when the lady tells like that, the young boy, he was totally struck, and he was thinking that, "Oh my God, actually, that youth is not going to stay for permanent. One time will come, that youth also will go, and then the old age will come." That's what Krishna is telling. Kaumaram Yovanam Jara. Now it is Kaumara, the children. Just imagine, just reflect in a second, close your eye, and just imagine when you were a children, how you are playing and you are going to the school, making all kind of fun. Kaumaram. Then you were studied, and then you were going to the high school, and you become 10th standard, and you appear for the board exam, and then you go to the college. Yovana came, and you are doing all kind of nonsense activity in the youth, in the college days. But now that youth is not no more. Now you are 30 plus, 40 plus. Now you are doing job and having families, responsibility, and the old age is coming now. Kaumaram Yovanam Jara Tatha Dehantara Prapti. Similarly, and with gradually with the time, Deha Antara Prapti. The body is going to be and the person will lose the body. Tatha Deha Antara Prapti. Deha will become Anta. And at that time, Dhirastatra na moyate. If really the person is a dhira person, intelligent person, then he will never bewilder. He will be always peaceful, because he knows that what is the right thing. Who am I? I am not this body, but I am the spirit soul inside the body. And because of having this knowledge, he will be always peaceful. Dhira satra namuyate means he will not bewilder. He will not get tense. So like this is the section, and it's very interesting section. Lord will be in detail. He's going to speak about what is this the soul is, how the soul is made of, what are the constituent of the soul. So further in the future classes, we will discuss it in detail. So today we have discussed 11, 12, and 13 verse of the second chapter. So any questions or any comment, you can unmute yourself.